Hello, my name is Nicholas J. Rudy, and today I will be talking about why mergers and acquisitions fail. So, the first point is limited involvement from owners. Owners and executives typically delegate acquisition to advisors. Once the deal is done, the advisor steps down and the owner becomes involved. The owners need to be involved from the start regarding the acquisition. The owner needs to do their due diligence and try to directly negotiate the deal and become involved in the deal in order to succeed in the acquisition. The second reason is the theoretical versus practical valuations. The number on the financial statements could be feasible, but the number could be misinterpreted. A good example is Bank of America and Countrywide Financial. Countrywide Financial was funding home buyers who were of high risk, but on the financial statement it did not show the level of risk that they were taking. It just showed a dollar value. Bank of America lost over $50 billion due to an acquisition that only cost them about $2.5 billion. The next is lack of clarity. Lack of organization clarity and understanding of who and what the company is. So the company needs to understand the key employees, projects, and information before the acquisition takes place. It is very important that even there is a checklist created. It is known as a post-merger integration checklist. A key example is through Yahoo and Tumblr. A representative at Yahoo, Marissa Meyer, gave an unfamiliar team an unrealistic sales goal, causing the company to roll back integration and write off significant losses. Moving on, cultural integration issues. This is by far one of the leading reasons why mergers and acquisitions fail. The definition is when a group practices with another group without sacrificing their own characteristics. A good example is with Chrysler and Daimler-Benz or Mercedes-Benz. The two different companies, two different languages, different styles, and this resulted in no synergies. After just 9 years of acquisition, the company had to write off a $29 billion loss. Next is lack of capacity. Many mergers and acquisitions are done to help a company grow. This, in turn, can hurt companies as well. It is very common for firms to have their resources fully allocated and have fully utilized their bandwidth within the organization. In order for a large, maxed out company to grow, it must grow from the base, finding new markets due to market saturation. Next is actual cost of integration. Most of the times, deals don't tend to go through on the first time. There's a lot of costs, and costs can increase when trying to integrate with another company. Never overpay for negotiation fees and integration attempts. Companies must keep their resources and hold their ground in today's tough markets. Next are negotiation errors. Overpayment is one of the acquisition's most important negotiation error. There are abundant amounts of fees in order to close a deal, especially if you bring in a third party like a mitigator or a third party acquisition advisor. Some common malpractices are poor preparation, failing to pay attention, and caving in too quickly. Owners and executives must be prepared for any situation and outcome, so being prepared and trying to minimize negotiation errors is very important. Next are external factors and changes in business. Sometimes a company could have a good idea but just be wrong timing. Most companies that were acquired from the years 2007 to 2009 have failed due to the market collapse of the financial market and real estate market. Many external factors cannot be controlled. Sometimes if companies are failing, it's best to shut the doors of the business instead of fighting and incurring more losses. Next is faulty assessments. When companies think of growth, they right away think to acquisition. Companies need to ask themselves if the acquisitions are worth it. In many instances, it would be better for companies to invest more into research and development and try to figure out a new product rather than to acquire a company. There are many options out there that could be more profitable for the company and better in the long run. Lastly, not having an exit strategy. According to a Harvard Business Review, the failure of mergers and acquisitions falls between 70 and 90%. There must be a backup exit strategy and plan. Organizations can stop the losses right away and not continue to incur these losses. Lastly, organizations need to look into demergers, and the company needs to split their lines of business so that not all lines are affected with the losses. Thank you very much.